Gotta get my.
Got your video going?
Everybody, it's the 30s perspective. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Hey. All right, so it's B Mike, and we got Danny here so you can get the video going.
B Mike, you gotta turn your music off, cause.
Yeah, I know.
Let me fix this background, Lord.
All right, you can be out in the stars.
I prefer to be off the coast of Africa.
There we go.
And space. This is Africa.
All right. Great. Okay. So we got Danny here on the line. We got Sherelle. You know, she's on mute for the moment, and then please should have Alicia coming in as usual. And we're up to episode 22, and of course it's the week of Halloween, so you know the topic's going to be that spooky season, and so that's where we're at. So, all right, let's go with it. All right, a little icebreaker. We're gonna start with your favorite horror thrillers from the 80s, 90s, or 2000s. Let's talk about it. Danny, what you got?
Freddy Krueger.
So Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street. Yep, that used to scare me. The 1, 2, Freddy coming for you used to have me up all night.
I get it. I mean, I like Freddy. I mean, as a kid, it was kind of scary, but as I got older, he became funny. He was just making jokes and trying to kill people in the most creative way possible. And he had unlimited power because he was in your dreams.
Yeah.
So that's what that is.
And you can't go to sleep. That's what stressed me out. You couldn't go to sleep.
Of course. And in all the movies, like people would fall asleep on accident. You can't help it.
That was the most stressful part. You fall asleep. You can't fall asleep with Freddy.
Right. Now, what did you think about Freddy versus Jason when that came out?
That was kind of boring for me. I didn't care too much for it.
See, I'd rather have seen Freddy versus Candyman, like two people that are there but not really there.
Yep, there, because Jason. I mean, I would prefer to see Jason versus Michael Myers or something.
A lot of people feel that Michael Myers will win, but I'm pretty strong on Jason Voorhees being the victor. I mean, he's technically a zombie, all the way.
And they just keep coming back, killing each other.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, they just keep coming back. You think they did? Nope, they still fighting.
Well, no, see, the issue is that they keep on bringing these people to keep bringing them back every movie. Like somebody always resurrects them. They'll be dead, and then someone either got to make sure they're dead, and in the process they wake them up, or like Jason X, like they brought him on board the spaceship, and it was always something, where somebody else messed up and brought him back.
Well, I'm a lame, and I don't watch scary movies.
Well, hold on. All right, but nothing like Hocus Pocus, nothing, not even like Goosebumps.
Well, you took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say, that's my favorite horror movie is Hocus Pocus, which is horror.
Now,
and that Michael Jackson movie scared me back in the day.
What, Thriller or Ghost?
Thriller scared me, and then there was some other one where he turned into this big robot.
Oh, that was part of Moonwalker. They got Smooth Criminal Moonwalker with Joe Pesci and all that. That's scary. You get scared of it? You got scared of the big robot?
I was real young looking at that, what the heck? That's about as good as I could give you.
Well, Michael was half plastic anyways. Yeah, Thriller was cool, and then he made that Ghost. I wasn't super a big fan of Ghost when he came out with that one. I had more fun playing Ghost on the Michael Jackson Experience, the video game, than watching the actual video. Yeah, that was weird. Yeah. All right, so favorite 80s, 90s scary movie? I don't know, man. All right, if you count the 2000s, which is part of the question, the first Final Destination had me spooked, yo. And here's the big reason why is because I don't really get scared of any movies where you have to be in a specific location to be in danger. So if I gotta be at Camp Crystal Lake for Jason, or I gotta be on Elm Street for Freddy, like, yeah, as long as I'm not there, I'm cool. Final Destination flipped me out because like that could happen anywhere, anytime.
Yeah. Yeah, but it mess you up because then you be sitting up there watching cars extra special on a highway.
Oh, I don't drive behind the logger trucks anymore because of that movie.
Yep.
Nope.
Yep. I see stuff. If I see anything shaking on the highway, I start thinking.
Yeah.
See, I don't need help being paranoid. I do pretty well with that on my own. And as much as I'm on the road by myself at night and all this, like, I don't need any extra help with that.
See, watching those movies lets you know how quickly and how odd some deaths can happen, because there's definitely some weird situations.
1,000 Ways to Die, and
I used to love watching that show.
I you know what? I'd be pissed. I'd be so pissed if I went on any of those ways. I'd be so mad. I come back and haunt everybody.
Yeah, 90% of those people were doing something stupid though when they did it.
Mm-hmm. I'd be bitter. Like I'd be a bitter ghost.
All right. So the kind of a question wasn't on the list, but I'll go ahead and ask you anyways. If you were going to hunt people, what would be your way of doing it? Like, what would you do? Where would you be if your goal was to scare people crazy all the time? If you were coming back and hunt somebody, what would you do?
I'm a little petty, so I think if I was to do it, I would take their keys, like their car keys, and keep hiding them, like just right before they're about to go to work.
That's hilarious.
You know, like that's
knock your trash over right in front of their door, right on trash night.
That's how petty I am. Like I'd be a petty ghost. Like
you're up there tripping them, whenever they walk by, just dumb stuff. That's
like,
funny.
get their hair done, I'm gonna blow up some wind or some rain right on top of their hair.
I'd be the type to take your spark plugs out if I could.
See, like, y'all nice though.
I'm messing up hairlines. I'm out here.
She had the barber bumping the barber's arm.
Wait till you get off work and you ready to go home, but I got spark plugs floating above you.
Nah, you need to go ahead and eat their last snack they got at home, the one they've been looking forward to all day at work, and you get home and it's gone.
Yep.
What?
Those are things that scare me the most.
See, if I was gonna hunt somebody, I'd scare them right in the shower when they're shampooing and their eyes are shut. And as soon as they open it, and I get them, and they're butt naked and wet, and they fall off the tub, and there's
that's right. You're gonna kill them, and they're gonna come back, and they're gonna hunt you with them. Kill them in the tub.
If I kill them, I'm laughing my ass off with them, like, gotcha.
They're gonna get you.
That's funny. All right. So, in terms of Halloween, though, I mean, this is something to feel like a very important day in our country. Like, it's huge for some people. Like, what do y'all think about that? Like, is it a real holiday? Like, what's...
I mean, for each its own. Like, for me, it's a holiday just for fun. I don't really look at it either way. Some people who are very, I have family who are Jehovah's Witness. I have family that are extremely religious, and they don't bank with Halloween, and I'm cool with it. Like, when we were kids, we didn't do Halloween. We had church Halloween or whatever, and they give us candy and stuff. We dressed up. But me, I love Halloween, so I go out. I get all the creepy stuff. Matter of fact, the kids in my family, my nieces and nephew, there's a scary picture that I have, and it lights up. If you hit the button, the eyes light up. I created a whole backstory for this thing. It's Great Aunt B, so she's Great Aunt B. And whenever the kids act up, I tell her, like, if you show off, Aunt B gonna come up and she gonna light them eyes up on you.
So you got an elf on the shelf for Halloween. That's messed up, man.
Great Aunt B. It's a picture frame. When you turn a certain way, it turns the skull. And then if you walk past, the lights come on. And I had that thing for over 10 years, and the kids are like terrified of it. And then my oldest niece, she getting on the lie too. Now that she older, that used to scare her. Aunt B, I'm like, I'm telling, she be like, don't tell Aunt B, don't tell Aunt B. But now she get on it like with the little ones. They start. She be like, I'm gonna get Aunt B, and Aunt B gonna come out and get you.
Wow.
Hmm.
See,
I
just
get
spooking the
into it.
kids. All right. So then, what you got planned for this year? Because COVID's on, in the mix.
Actually, this year I didn't really plan much because of COVID. I'm even more scared of COVID than anything. So, I mean, what I usually do is I have a Halloween party with the kids,
Yeah.
and my family. So we usually do a Halloween party. We tell scary stories, just make them up, and then sometimes I mess with them. I have like this timer that shuts the light off right before the scary stories. So if the scary stories is
Oh,
gonna start
see,
around
I
six
didn't even
thirty.
think about that. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's real sick. You timing out and at the right part, it just
The light
lights
shut down.
out.
Yep. And they be like, what happened? I'm
Damn.
like, it's time for scary stories. The ghost will shut the light off.
Yo, man, you trying to traumatize some folks. The
Oh,
kids are going.
definitely. Well, I used to when you know what, with my house, when I lived there, I used to have like a little cemetery. Kids used to be terrified to come into my house. They wouldn't even come to get candy. They'd be so scared because I had the music playing. Then I had, the hands that crawl across the table. I got creative, dug a hole and made them come out the grave so it looked like the hand was reaching out the grave like that. Kids were terrified. My niece didn't even want to come to the house. I had to take everything down, like everything, for her to go in the house, and then I put it back up.
Yo, that's great. Have you ever worked in a haunted house before?
Yeah, actually, when I was in high school, worked at Kennywood. I was the first year they did the haunted, what is it called, the Fright
Fright
Night.
Nights?
I was
Yeah.
one of the first people to work there because I worked at Kennywood throughout high school. So
I'm
Did you
telling
have
you
any
right now.
crazy stories?
no, actually, you know what? I had the thing is I knew it wasn't good for me because I got a little temper, and so you get so many people that's so scared, and I was scared to mess out of people because the best way to scare people is not to jump out and scream at them. Because if you
Nope.
jump out and go rah, some people get scared. The people that's real scary, they get scared. But if you want to freak people out like me, who don't get scared in haunted houses, you gotta walk quietly and just stalk them. And
See? Yep.
yep. And what their perception, what happens is when the sensory, your senses start to go because it's dark, it freaks them out because your mind started playing tricks. So you see this little person coming out in a mask and they're just staring at you. It freaks you out. And then you hurry up and run through the trap door and hurry up and beat them around the corner, and you're just there staring at them,
See?
mess with
That's
them.
hilarious.
I had
Man.
this one woman so scared she was screaming. Her husband had to drag her out of there.
Yo, I had this these two couples scared like their boyfriends left them. They ran out and left the girls behind. That was
Mhm.
funny. Because I worked a haunted house one time, and it was kind of perfect though. Because someone asked me, "Hey, we're short staffed. Can you come out and help?" Cool, I'm there. Let's do it. And I get out there, all the good costumes are taken, so they gave me this killer clown costume, the only one that fit, because I'm all 6'4", like the only one that like work. And so it was at this funeral home, which is I guess scary enough. And it was 8 rooms, but they were set up like ice cream trays. So it was like 4 and 4, and they all connected in the middle.
Wow, that's weird.
Yeah, right. And so people made a loop through the 4 and came back the other side. And they set me up in the nursery. They found this creepy little white girl to be rocking on the damn rocking horse. And I was in that room. But see, and you talk about waiting and doing things the right way. What I would do is I knew that the people that were scared the most, they never went first. They always let other people go first to see what happened to them first.
Yep.
Cool. So I would always wait to pop out when I got to the middle of the group.
Mm-hmm.
And they be over there. Of course, they're looking at the girl on the rocking horse. They ain't even thinking about what's behind them. That's where I was.
Mm-hmm.
So I get them like that, and then this is when I really got. So they thought they was done with me. All right, but then I cut through over to the other side,
Mm-hmm.
and I would be in the it was the vampire wedding room, and it was this bride at the end of a long table of body parts, and she's chowing down on one side, and I like again hide on the other side of the room behind the curtains.
Mm-hmm.
And they're coming in and they're trying to step away from the table. So they're right in front of the curtains when they came in. And then that's when I would just be silent and just come out and stand next to them like 6 inches. And then when they would sense something was there.
Yep.
And then I would, and they would flip out. And it was the second to last room, and they would just run through the last room. They just,
yeah, that's how you
that
get
was
them.
getting
I
them
only
all
had
night.
one person scare me in a haunted house ever, and that was probably about 4 years ago. And it was the same kind of situation. This person really got me, and it was funny because don't nothing really get me in them haunted houses because I usually know, I already know where they're, you know. And so I was there, and there was this guy. He was dressed in this costume. It was like a gargoyle. I think it was somewhere in Bethel Park, dressed as a gargoyle.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, he looked real. Or no, it was Jeeper. He was dressed as the Jeepers Creeper.
Oh,
But I thought
okay.
he was a statue because he was standing. When I say he stood still, like we couldn't tell if he was real. We were like, oh, he ain't real. We walked. He stood there for a minute, and we kept walking. We got real comfortable in the room, and then all he did was jump down, scared the daylights out of all of us. That
That's
was it.
awesome.
Like he
That's
didn't have
awesome.
to say nothing. Like he just jumped down, scared.
That's it. Just move, right?
He waited until we got real comfortable in the room. We're walking around. That he waited for the perfect moment.
Gotta wait, man. Gotta wait.
And see, he didn't scream. He didn't even say nothing. He just jumped down, and we were not ready for it. I was like, oh, he got me, because I was like, I wasn't ready.
See, I'm cool. And see, no one ever gets me in haunted houses. One, I know that legally they can't touch me, so no matter what they're doing, they can't do anything. But like, I'm the one that goes in there, talks a lot of shit. I'm the one. I remember one year I was at Fright Night. We were in the like clown insane asylum or something, and I was just having too much fun. And I started clapping the theme, the car wash, and for some reason, other people were joining in. So now the whole haunted house is just.
Stupid. They're just up there clapping.
It's like killed the whole vibe. Like, you can't scare nobody to car wash.
No.
Now
I like to go with my friends who are terrified to go because they don't scare me, but I have friends that are scared of everything. Like I have two friends. We were down in Myrtle Beach, and you know how they got those themed haunted houses?
Yeah.
And I had two friends, and they're like, Stacy's scared of everything. Like she don't like haunted houses. She don't like scary movies. And I felt bad because I couldn't stop laughing. I damn near cried. That's how funny it was. And
it is funny.
She almost, I swear this girl almost had a panic attack. And she was crying and shaking and shit. She was shaking and shit.
There's people that really get scared. I'm like,
her and my friend Tamika, they were so mad at us. They were mad at us that we even went in there, and I can't even stop. It just turned into a comedy thing for me. It was like there was a fight. Now I want to take her to more haunted houses, and that's evil. But
hey, you want to see happy? You know what though? I gotta say, there's one concept for a haunted house that we don't do in America that I experienced. I was like, that's the way to do it. I was up in Canada. I was on the Canadian side of Niagara Falls, and the way they did their haunted houses up there. Well, you know how here you go in the rooms here, and it's full of like smoke, and there's some dim lighting, colored lighting, and you can basically see what's happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
Up there was no lights, so you would walk into they said follow the red dot. So you'd walk into a room, and there'd be like a red LED way in the distance, and you're supposed to walk towards the red light. It's completely pitch black dark. You don't know what's about to happen. I had friends run back out the entrance.
Because you know what? It takes away their senses. So it's going to mess with now their imagination. Even if nobody jumps out, their imagination is going to make it happen.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Their imagination is going to make it jump out on them.
Oh, my imagination got me once. It was at Fright Night, and it wasn't even in a haunted house. I mean, you worked there. Maybe you remember. Remember the porta potty thing y'all had at Kennywood? Mm-hmm. That nastiness flipped me the fuck out. Because the door opened and water shot out the toilet, and there's like shit and blood everywhere and everything. And I jumped off of that one. Like, I know it got to be fake, but just in case, don't touch me.
Yeah, well, see, that to me, like anything that's like stuff like that, that's scary. But that's scary because I'm a germaphobe.
See what I mean? Right. That got me real bad. I'm like,
oh! Scaring me now, like horror scary. Y'all just scaring me because that's just nasty.
That's exactly. That's the only thing that got me at Fright Night. Fright Night is normally pretty family friendly, not too bad. But yeah, that porta potty thing that threw me off. Like that was good. All
Movies
right.
don't scare me. A lot of things don't scare me, but I have phobias that scare me. I'm scared of the weirdest stuff, and it's like
You were kind of telling me about that.
holes. I'm
I,
terrified of clusters
all
of
right.
holes.
You say that, and I still didn't know what you meant. So can you
Like
elaborate,
look,
please?
coral. Like if you look at coral, it has
Oh,
all those little holes. I can't look at it. Or
got you.
honeycomb.
Okay.
Honeycomb.
Okay,
Okay.
so look, I ain't get to answer.
That's what you.
I ain't get to answer your initial question.
Uh,
So, yeah, you asked us if Halloween was like a real holiday. I
Yeah.
didn't grow up with it being a real holiday either. I grew up as very religious, so we went to Hallelujah night and all that stuff. And there was this scary haunted house. It was like a Revelations in the days kind of haunted house we used to go to, which I hated going to
that's
that.
scary.
That would be scary. You had a Revelations on the house. Yo, that's
Like
a good
that.
thing. Right. I want to go to that one.
The crap out of me. I don't like any of that type of stuff. But like as far as Halloween goes, like when it comes to me, like I'm a creative, so I love like the creativity of Halloween. Like I used to go like to Kent State, like when I was in Kent State, we used to have like the parades and stuff. So I love to just go to the parades. I want to see what everybody's wearing. I want to dress up a little bit. I'm not even that involved. But I'll dress up a little bit, go out with some friends, and I'm down with like just the light part of it. But I feel like on my end, it's like there's levels to it because there's stuff I will be into and stuff I won't.
Right.
But as far as
Sorry.
haunted house, because y'all got into the haunted house thing, I only went like maybe twice, so I can't really say a lot about that, about the haunted house thing. And I think I was like a teenager. We went and it was fun, but I don't know, being scared ain't what's up. But you had mentioned like weird things you're scared of. I don't like anything like eyeballs. I can't look at no eyeballs.
That's
I don't
ironic.
like nothing going in the eye. Like that freaks me out.
Yeah. That is freaky. But
All right.
I'm telling you, I'm terrified of holes. I can't look at holes. They showed on like the American Horror Story. They had that episode, that season. There's one season with the voting where they had like the vote. It was like I can't remember, but they had a character that had the same phobia I have. It's trypophobia or something like that. I don't even know how to spell the word because every time I look it up, you can't even look up the word without seeing it. So, but I have that phobia. And I couldn't even watch that season. I don't even know if that season was good because I didn't even bother. Because I saw one episode where they showed the holes and I was done. My sisters called me. We're all scared of the same thing. So all four of us was like, did you see that? Oh, we're not watching that.
All right. Hey, when you said it, I ain't know, like, what are you talking about? Like potholes, black holes? What did you mean? Like, now I got it. I got you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks weird.
I didn't even know I had this phobia until Facebook because someone posted a picture that freaked me out and completely traumatized me. I had to block them. I was like, we can't even be friends no more. I don't even want to know you. Because it was like, I couldn't even, it took hours for me to get the image out of my head.
All right. That's good to know. No posting holes.
My grandma is scared of like balls of hair.
What?
Like she's scared of balls of, like, you might comb your hair and there's like a cluster of hair sitting
I don't
somewhere.
blame her though. Oh, I don't need a new phobia because that's making me itch.
I don't like it, but it don't like scare. She be scared.
Yo, okay. Well, you know what though? I don't like silence. Silence irks the fuck out of me. I get real uneasy with silence. I don't do well. To me, silence means everything kind of died or something went wrong. Because no matter where you at, something's happened. Outside, inside, you got something making noise. If it's silent, something's up.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, I don't like it. I don't like, cause I always got something going on, TV, music, something's always happening. And yeah. All right. So I know, like Alicia was talking about, going, I guess, too far with Halloween and the costume, because like costumes now are different. Because when we were kids, it was all the classics, your Draculas and Frankenstein and stuff. But now people have gotten real creative with their costumes. They don't got to be scary. Sometimes they're political or social, just jokes. So I mean, some of the ones that have been really creative. What's something y'all seen recently in terms of creativity?
I mean, well, remember when the bus fell into the hole?
Yeah, did someone do that?
I've seen a few of those. It was like, okay, why are we walking around dressed like a bus?
Fell to the hole.
Yeah. A funny story is my sister was right behind the bus in her car.
Oh.
Literally right behind it. So and she has a Kia Soul, so if our car would have been done. It would have been over.
Oh man, that's kind of scary in itself.
Yeah, before the news even broke. So that was one.
Yeah. Hey, Sherelle, anything you've seen some creative costumes? I guess non-scary ones.
People like when I was at camp, people was dressed up like tampons, condoms. My stepdad actually, yes, my stepdad and my mom used to go to like Halloween costume contests, and my stepdad would like win. He created like he was like a man in a shower. So he like painted himself blue. He created a shower curtain around him, like a real one. With like it had the bar and the curtain. He had like a bar of soap. Like he actually won.
Okay.
He was like a whole like a card. Wasn't he a card, Mom? Yeah, Ace of Spades. He made that like because he was good with his hands and he used to work with his hands. He used to win contests all the time.
All right, so he did the shower thing like Karate Kid did in the first one. I got you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So my family, we got this weird thing where my mom and my brother-in-law's mom, they like to battle for who's going to make the costume for the grandkids, and it's hilarious, like the battle of the grandmas. So one year, my mom made my niece a Cabbage Patch, and then the next year, his mom made her Prince.
She made
a reversible jacket, and the jacket was nice. She's like going back and forth.
Gotta do Prince. That's awesome. Why?
For the grandma.
So what do y'all think about, I guess tasteless costumes? Because the reason I bring that up is mostly because my best friend last year is convict Cosby, and he had the orange sweater with the prison pants, and he walked around with boxes of Jell-O. And some people found it real funny, and some people didn't.
People are crazy. Yeah, I thought the bloody tampon situation was a lot.
Well,
I could have did without that one.
You know what? Like I get it because it's kind of funny because it is a situation. When it comes to comedy's never not always appropriate.
Yeah.
So I look at it this way: if he could pull it off and make people laugh, then it worked. But
mostly he mostly made people laugh.
Mm-hmm.
But there are people that of course we hang out with that have the same sense of humor. And right, but there's a couple of women that were not happy with him doing that, and he's like, I'm not making fun of what he did. I'm making fun of him being in prison. Like, it's not, So that was a thing, but I thought it was funny.
Yeah, and the thing is it's out of the box, and you're always going to have that. Like when it comes to costume, I feel like that's the one day we can always be something else or inappropriate, appropriate. The only costumes I really have an issue with are the ones that are just pretty much like outdoor negligees, and that's because it's like it's really not a costume.
Yeah, I saw tons of that because I went to Pitt. So every Halloween, a lot of students, like the girls were going out looking super scantily clad, and then a lot of white guys was cross-dressing. And that was like 90% of what they were doing. I'm like,
that's the only time you can be a hoe without somebody actually calling you a hoe.
But yeah, but then
No.
yeah,
Right.
and so that's the only thing because I feel like Halloween should be fun, but
Yeah.
I feel like that sexy costume should be like after the party, not like at the
Hey,
party. But that's
I don't
because
know.
also I'm also a germaphobe too. So when I see people outside naked, it's to me, I'm like, I'm not sitting there because
And it's cold. Like my
it
mom just
is
mentioned,
cold. It's been very
it's
cold.
too cold for all of that.
I
Yeah.
also believe you could be sexy without wearing lingerie. There's so many sexy costumes you can wear.
Yeah. I don't know. They were college kids. They were broke. I don't know what the deal was, but a lot of them were wearing very similar. It was like two options. Either you was
They were all
not
wearing
wearing,
negligees.
negligees, or you was cross dressing, and we were like, why? What's the what?
And I can tell you guys, like when it comes to stuff, I'm not like conservative, but I think, just when you're out, I guess unless it's like that's the excuse. Like a lot of the parties that I've seen, like they'll have an excuse where the men are the promoters and they're like women dress wear your sexiest costume and they'll have women like in pasties with devil horns. And I'm like, that's just a way to see free, people naked for free,
Yeah.
so I mean, I'm cool, people could be, be sexy, be naked, I don't care, because I'm all about that, but I just feel like that's not, I wouldn't use Halloween as an excuse.
No. Oh, I remember I was a kid. My dad, back when the O.J. Simpson trial just ended, he went to a couple of Halloween parties dressed as O.J. and he brought like the bloody knife and the glove.
Hmm.
And it was funny because the Halloween parties he was going to were not black people. So he was
That
messing
make
with
you feel
folks.
uncomfortable.
Yep. And he had the OJ mask. He bought an OJ mask, and he had the whole get up, man. It was funny. At least I thought so. And I was a little kid. I thought that was funny.
Hmm.
But hey,
And it's making people uncomfortable. That's that's the comedy aspect.
yep.
Oh,
Yeah, I
All
don't
right.
think I've ever dressed as anything.
Yeah, I haven't yet. I got some ones I want to do, but none of them are like controversial. Um, they're funny, but not controversial.
you said none are
I can
controversial.
tell you every year for Halloween I'm a cat.
Okay.
It's
There you go.
$4.88
Just
from
put on
Walmart.
ears and go out like I'm done.
Well, I get
Every
my
year
ears and I got the
I
tail.
have I have this swimsuit that looks like kind of like a short dress. So I put that with some fishnets on and some boots and a cape, and I'll have like a sword and maybe like a mask, and I'm some kind of ninja vampirist, whatever it looks like. I'm that every year.
Yeah, that thing.
I'm lying because I switch it back and forth because either I'm Batgirl or I'm a cat. And the cat is funny because like I try to get creative for whatever I have in my closet, and I try to find the cheapest I get the the major things like the mask, the hat. Then I try to find whatever I have in my closet and make it work. So it's really funny. The kids love
I'm
it.
right with you with the make it work. Oh yeah, you can add in a witch too. So some kind of witch, ninja, vampirist, whatever you see when you see me. That's what I
That's
am.
what I am.
And since my birthday is around Halloween time, and then I heard yours is too. Is yours
No.
actually on Halloween?
Or no?
No, my birthday's in July. I just
Oh, maybe
love
I
Halloween.
okay. Maybe I misread that earlier. Okay, no, we're good.
Yeah, I
Okay.
just love Halloween. My birthday it's not. It's just one of them holidays. I just take
Okay.
over and act like it is.
Here we
Okay.
go.
He thought it was on Halloween. But
Yeah, I
mine
must
is
have read that wrong.
Yeah,
Mhm.
mine is actually tomorrow. My birthday is actually tomorrow, but so I usually have no choice but to celebrate because it's stuff going on all weekend, when it's my birthday time. So I mean, I just put on that same costume and go to somebody's party or club and join in.
All right. Cool. Now, all right. So, question: we talked about what we do. In terms of like Halloween in the media, because that's a lot of times people get controversial with things. We'll start here. What do y'all feel there's a difference or a significant difference between horror movies and I guess horror books and like thrillers? Because they're kind of like this Venn diagram of stuff. And you have like the horror movies and you got like the thrillers. And is there a way to divide that up a little bit?
That's a good question. I've always
Books
wondered
are
that
always
because
better than the movie.
What you say, Alicia?
Books are always better than the movie. Period.
I don't know about that, man. Because Starship Troopers, the book sucked.
Who?
Starship Troopers, the
oh
book
yeah,
sucked.
yeah, it.
Listen, like I said, any good book that's worth reading, the book is better than the movie.
Now
Period.
I do want to tell you that I do, when it comes to thrillers, horror movies usually disappoint me, because they have this, either they're really good with the acting or trash with the special effects, or good trash with the or good with the special effects but trash with the acting. They never know how to cast them, so you can have a really good back like type of thing where they're they have a good like synopsis and you're like, oh, I'm about to watch this movie, and then you see the acting, you're like, okay, I'm turning this off. It's trash. Whereas thrillers, they scare you a different way because one, there's usually a good actor, there's usually a good build up with the story, there's always a twist, and it raises your adrenaline completely different. Besides scaring you, it's like it's messing with your imagination on different scenarios. There's twists and turns,
Now, when you said that with the horror movies, like it's almost kind of expected of the genre, though. Like it's like going to be a little corny, a little cheesy, a little overacting, and like ridiculous amounts of blood and stupid situations. And I mean, some of them I watch for that reason because they're just that stupid, that bad.
There have been a few that got actually been pretty good. They're not, well, you know what, these were series. Horror, there was the one, the Haunted House on Haunted Hill.
Yeah, I heard that was
Hill
good.
House.
Yeah,
Haunted House that came out last year.
Mhm.
That was good. Like there were parts in that actually got me, and it's very rare that they get me like that. I was watching it in the dark by myself at home, and there was a scene that made me my soul almost jumped out my body. And it wasn't even like it was a bad, it was just the timing, because they had you all sitting there, you was all intense. I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but it was all intense. And the next thing you know, something happened, and you are not ready because they wait until, they build up that intensity, and you're watching, you're looking, going back and forth between these two characters, and then boom, I was shook. I was shook
Got you.
for a minute.
See, that's good writing right there. Alicia, what you think?
I'm a thriller more than I don't watch horror movies. I think they're stupid. One, two, I used to live by myself. So before I got married and had a child and all that good stuff, I lived by myself, so I didn't watch horror movies.
See, I got into watching some of those, I guess, scary, like you said, like shows. So I was watching Supernatural and, all that, like, cool. And they give me sometimes to be like, got you a little freaked out a little bit. Like, yo, what's happening?
Yeah.
But, I like the shows more.
That got me. Years ago when I lived in France, I lived in this building. It used to be a hospital. The school used to be a hospital, and people had like lung disease. I forgot what it was, tuberculosis back in the 1920s. And where they moved my room, because I got really sick because of where this room was. It was like real cold, this one wing. So they moved me to another wing, and they put me on top of this Catholic. The one wing was above a Catholic church. And so I'm watching Supernatural, and this weird, eerie building, and the yellow-eyed demon pops up.
The yellow-eyed demon.
I slept with the light on for a month because of that. Because I was like, wait a minute, there's a whole demon. See, demons, I don't like to mess with stuff with demons and, biblical, but that got me. I was done. I slept with the light on because I thought that demon was going to come see me.
See, that's how the movie Devil got me, the M. Night Shyamalan thing, because, like, the devil could be anywhere. I was like, yo, like, I was flipped out, like, I could have met the devil and didn't know it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that had me tripping for a bit.
Yeah.
See, situations where I don't have to be in a specific place, that's what gets me. Like, it happen anywhere.
Yeah, I don't do spirits. I don't like stuff like that.
Mm-mm.
So like that, like Haunting of Elizabeth, whatever her name
Oh,
is.
Emily Rose?
Yeah, all them
Oh.
exorcism stuff. That y'all could leave that for shit for the birds. I ain't got that to do. Nope, not me.
Girl,
I watched
I watched that movie and I thought it was going to be like I thought it was going to be like the one movie that scared me to my core was The Exorcism of Emily Rose. And not because it was scary like Raw, or it was scary because they thought she was mentally ill, but she was possessed by a demon that was torturing her at 3:00 at night. And that when that movie came out, I saw that and I was in college and I used to wake up at 3:00 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And one night my cousin knocked on my door at 3 a.m. I thought it was that demon. I was freaked out. I was so mad. He was waking me up asking me for a quarter so he could go wash his clothes. I was like, don't you ever come knocking on my door and had me watching The Exorcism of Emily Rose, and then you gonna come and knock on my door at 3 a.m. because you wanted to wash your clothes. I was shook.
Yeah, 3 a.m. is dead hour. So yeah.
Right. And like it's so crazy you say that because what movie? Oh, when I was watching Paranormal Activity.
I don't like that.
I wasn't flipped out.
I didn't like them either. Nope. I watched the one.
I laughed throughout the entire movie for that one.
And when they were talking about the Devil's Hour at 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah, 3 to 4 a.m.
When I used to wake up at 3:00, like I would just randomly wake up. I would be so scared. Like I would be so petrified to move. Like I wouldn't go to the bathroom. I wouldn't do nothing. I would just sit there and I'm just like, sometimes like when I would wake up, I would just don't look at your clock. Don't look at your phone. Don't look at your phone. Don't look at your phone. It's not 3:00. Just don't look at the phone. And come to find out it's 3:00 in the morning. I'm like, why am I waking up at this hour? Like it started to like scare me. So I was like, no.
Yep. I slept with the light on after seeing that because I was like, I'll be darned. They be up there talking about I'm mentally ill and it's something bothering me knocking on my door at 3 and Lord, see, that's the only ones that get me. I'm not really scared of scary movies.
So, all right, I got a question though for y'all. The dead hour. How do they know if there's like daylight savings time? Do they follow this? And what about time zones? How does this work? What's the rules here?
I don't know.
With dead hour.
What do you think about the space-time continuum? Because everything's relative when the Earth spins. So.
Gotcha. But like daylight savings time, does that play a factor? Do they keep track of that?
What if the Earth spins a little faster? Who knows? Because they said it. Well, they said it's slowing down.
They said they came and asked you, Brandon. They said, "Hey, that daylight savings come yet?"
Well, I gotta let them know that this Sunday we all gotta switch our clocks back, so they don't have to adjust their hunting schedule.
Right.
Mm-hmm. No, that means they can sleep in more. Oh, that's good.
Yep. You gotta fall back. All right. All right. Says Home vs. I like Thriller. I like 1408's a thriller to me. It's one of my favorite.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
I'm stepping out, but the recording is gonna keep going. So carry on.
Okay. Have fun.
See ya.
See you later. All right. So now, do you think that horror movies, especially ones like Saw and Hills Have Eyes and stuff, do y'all think that those like show like an unhealthy amount of violence?
Yeah, because to me they're gory. They're not really scary.
They're gory, right?
They're gory. For me, I mean, it doesn't like it's not scary to me. It's more displeasing to me to watch someone gored.
Yeah, and some people love it. That's why there's like 6 Saw movies, and
Mhm.
the slashers took off. All the Jasons,
Yeah.
and they, it's all there. And you know what's interesting to me though, because I saw The Hills Have Eyes in the theaters. I wanted to see it. It was cool, whatever. And it was so packed in there, and I'm sitting like close to the front. And I discovered that people are okay with gore, guts coming out, heads popping off. They're fine with that. But in that movie, I think it's the first time I ever saw the monster or whatever. Like he raped one of the girls. People were just like, they were completely not. Some people left the theater. They were just not with that.
Mhm.
Like they're cool with people being disemboweled and all kind of other stuff,
Mhm.
but that was like too far for them. They
Yeah, I
couldn't
feel like
take it.
all that, because the disembowelments and all that. To me, that's not really. It's not like a scary thing where it's like I watch it and I get excited. Because like if I watch a scary movie or horror movie that maybe some people get killed, but not like they're. I can watch their throat slowly slit. I can't do all that.
Yeah.
I can't do all that. It
All
just,
right. Yeah. Because some people think that that gives people ideas. But I don't like most studies show that. I mean, if you weren't already thinking about doing this stuff, you're not going to just start just because you saw a movie.
yeah. No, well, you know what? There's one movie that's kind of like a thriller. It's called The Circle. It's not the one with Tom Hanks in it. It's an old school one,
Yeah.
where people have to like pick people to like, like to hurt like all these people. It's like Saw, where you all get kidnapped, and then you have to pick, and then you have to decide like, do you choose the child, and why do you? And they were talking about those. Now that kind of, I watch that stuff because it messes with you, because you're thinking, okay, you think this person's a good person, but they're a bad person. But would you make that decision? That's
Right. Yeah. That's of course, Saw makes you think about what you would do in those situations.
Yeah, The Circle definitely is a good one. I don't know if you guys seen it.
I have not seen The Circle. I gotta put it on my list because every year I make a list of like scary movies and thrillers to watch for Halloween. I had so many on my list. I had to start in September. So normally first it was 31 movies, watch one every night, or double up on the weekends. And like this year, like me and my girlfriend came up with this list that was like, it was like 60 movies on this.
Yeah, that's how it is.
And we were going, and not all of them are scary. Some of them are like classic, funny ones. Like I'll put on there, like Abbott and Costello, Meet Frankenstein. I'll put on there Addams Family. Like you're not always.
But it gives you that nice. There's also that sense where you get that feeling, like Hocus Pocus, Addams Family. They give you that, like Casper the Friendly Ghost. I like watching.
Yeah.
It gives you that nostalgia, that childhood nostalgia.
Yep. For us millennials, I don't even know if they have any. Do they have any like, I guess, scary movies that are like family, other than like Hotel Transylvania?
Yeah.
Is there anything else? Like, because we had a whole bunch as a kid.
Monster House
loves that.
Okay. All right. Monster House. Okay. Because I feel like we had a whole bunch as a kid, though. I think we had between the Addams Family.
We had TV
shows. Hocus Pocus. We have the other one, the high school one. What's that called?
The Faculty?
Huh?
The Faculty. You remember The Faculty?
Yeah, I remember that with Usher, but I'm.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the Disney movie where they were all like, they all had like superpowers. Halloween Town was one. And I forget.
My Mom's a Vampire. That was one on there. Couldn't stand that movie.
Teen Wolf.
Well, yeah, there's Teen Wolf. There's a whole bunch. There's a whole bunch of, like, I feel like that's not a thing as much anymore. I don't know. But yeah, all that stuff, I put all that stuff on the list. And then, of course, I love my blaxploitation films because they're just extra stupid funny. So I watch Blackula and Blackenstein.
Remember Vampire in Brooklyn? That was funny.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Vampire in Brooklyn. Evil is good. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
See? Those.
Yeah, Vampire in Brooklyn. And then that one, what was the one that I used to watch? Oh well, now they got it's called Creeped Out. The kids watch. It's on Netflix. That's pretty good. Me
Okay,
and the kids, we sat there and watched that one weekend. Me and the kids, we just got a whole bunch of junk food and binge watched that show.
got you.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
like Black Mirror for kids.
Oh, see, I like Black Mirror. That's a thriller, and it's all like socially conscious and
Yeah.
satirical, and
Awful.
Black Mirror have you cracking up because they be thinking of things the things that get into your head. It's almost like my what was that show? Twilight Zone. Twilight Zone.
yeah,
I love the Twilight Zone. It
yep,
wasn't scary because it was like people. They got in your head. The old school Twilight Zone. The
yep, black and
graphics were
whites.
terrible. The special effects were trash. You could see the land. But what I like
Yeah,
about
it was like the 50s and 60s.
but the scariest episode for me, the one that trips me out the most, is the episode with the banker. The banker, all he wanted to do was read when he was at work. No one would let him read. His wife wouldn't let him read, and you know everybody he would try to read everywhere he was, and no one would let him read. And then he went into the vault to get something out, and it was a nuclear bomb. I don't know how like everything around him survived, but all the people died. But forget that.
We're just
And
going to
so when
ignore
they
that issue, right?
yeah, even the papers and stuff, but okay, we'll leave that alone. He
Right.
came out and he realized everyone was gone and he could read all day, all he wanted. So he went to the library, stacked up all the books for months, for all the years. He was ready. And the minute he got down, after he sat down all the books and got them ready, he tripped and fell and broke his glasses.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I like that. There's a few episodes that I really like, and then Outer Limits, and then later on the X Files,
Mm-hmm.
and that little spooky, weird creepiness that was cool. I don't know if they still got that same vibe now. I don't know if any shows. I mean, the new Sabrina is not really like that, and then
It's kind of like Hocus Pocus.
yeah, sort of. It's darker though, definitely
Yeah,
darker than
it's darker.
yeah, and I like that. The new season's coming out, and then I watched Lucifer, which is different. It's
Yeah,
not scary though. That's
it's
just
Oh,
funny.
it's stupid.
yeah,
It's
yes,
funny.
that's not scary. That's more funny. It's a buddy cop movie type of thing happening. All right, so we talked about the distasteful violence. Now, do you think like it's an escape for people? Why do you think people escape from like the morbid stuff? Like, why do we go to haunted houses? Why do we watch scary movies? What is that fascination? What is that like morbid escape for us to be scared?
Well, you could everyone is adrenaline's a drug, so everyone likes that. That thrill. Get your heart pumping, send some positive. Once you realize you're alive, you feel grateful that you're alive, you survived, even though you knew you weren't in danger in the first place. It gives you
Yeah,
that release of those chemical components. Um, so everyone kind of feels real great after that
I got you.
on cloud nine.
What you think, Alicia? Why do you think people try to go scare themselves? Because I know Sherelle left, but that's her biggest thing. She's like, I don't need no other extra help being scared. She don't like that. She can't stand scary stuff. So
I'll be honest with you.
yeah,
I think people just do it for the thrill.
there's like that adrenaline rush. All
Because I
right.
can't think of anything else on why people like to be scared.
Mm-hmm.
Like
There's
I,
just
I
that.
honestly can't. Like what other than like it's a thrill. Like why do people ride roller coasters?
True. It's for that adrenaline rush. And some people
It's a
get
thrill.
really scared too with the roller
Right.
coasters.
Right. And it's a thrill. Like it's an adrenaline rush. It's people like to do it's past the time.
All right, because like for me, like with the movies, it's like I don't really get. I watch a lot of them now as an adult just because they laugh most of the time. They're comical. They're people making stupid decisions,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not yelling. You know what? And a comedian talked about this. You get to the point where you're rooting for the killer. Like, man, kill this dumb fool. Like, oh, come on. And I remember watching. Did you see the Ruins? Either one of y'all see the Ruins yet?
The Ruins.
Yeah,
Not
that's
yet.
probably the worst one for character mistakes. Like they were doing stuff, getting themselves killed more than it was like these. They were at this pyramid that had like these vines that were like basically the vines craved flesh.
And then the first thing they do is
I did see the Ruins. I maybe the old one. I didn't see the. If there was a new one, I didn't see it, but it's where they go to that like remote island, right?
Well, they go. Well, they're on vacation in like Central America.
They're in
and then
like rocks. It's like rocks, and then like I forget.
It was like this Mayan pyramid. So there's a bunch of rocks and bricks. There's this old Mayan pyramid, right?
A pyramid.
And like once they got to the pyramid, the local tribes people was like, you can't leave because you'll take the pollen of this plant with you, and it'll spread the world. So if they tried to leave the pyramid, they got shot. If they stayed on the pyramid, the thing was trying to eat them. But most of their deaths came from them doing dumb stuff on their own.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this is horrible. And like the plant was just killing up their corpse after they done died. And I'm like, the plant's not even causing most of the situations. This is horrible. Yeah, like now, see, I'll watch it now for the dumb decisions that people make in the movies.
Yeah, that's what we do. Like around Halloween, every Saturday, a group of my friends will get together and watch horror movies with drinks.
Yep.
That's like a tradition, and we'll sit there and just we watch some of the worst ones we've ever seen, and a lot of them are on Amazon Prime. Some of the worst movies you'll ever see, and they're just like trash. The acting's trash.
Uh-huh.
I told them about that one movie I watched. It was
Which one?
Of those awful movies I've ever watched. It's called Truth or Dare.
Oh yeah.
It was a thriller. That movie was so stupid.
You did tell us about that. It was horrible.
I was like, really? People sat and watch this movie?
What's funny to me is somebody keeps paying to make these movies, but like good content can't get funding. But then it'll be like Alien Earthworm 6, and you're like, there was 5 before this. Who pays for this stuff?
Yeah. I don't even know how that even happens.
Yeah, like the Sharknadoes.
Yeah. Some days I want to sit down and just like, I wish I could write a movie and like direct it, but I have no clue what I would do anyway. I don't even know how to direct, but because I know how particular I am and the type of stuff that would scare me and how particular, but then it would probably cost $300 million and it would probably take 6 years to make it because I'm not.
See, what you do is you write it, and then that's when those experts, they teach you how to, we can do it this way, we can put it together. You just write it first. That's the hard part. Get that script done. Yeah. And then there's experts to help you with the rest of it.
Well, apparently the experts aren't doing a good job because these movies are trash now.
They are. They're trash.
I stopped watching horror movies for about a decade when they started doing like the American remakes of the Japanese ones, like The Ring and all those.
Some of the best movies you'll watch are best horror movies.
Yeah.
Are they're not American. They're from Korea, Japan.
Well, point me in the direction, man, because the ones I saw was not happy with. And then I watched. I don't know if y'all saw the one about the Netflix movie that people couldn't even finish watching. It was so scary.
That was so boring to me.
Hey, thank you. Oh, I watched it. It was like Veronica. What was the name of that movie?
Oh yeah, Veronica. That was not scary.
Yeah, no,
that was not scary at all.
That was.
Those are people like my friend Stacy. They can't get through the littlest. My friend Stacy could get through a lot of scary movies. So
that was so boring. I was like, for
like
real?
Scary movies. So I like that probably would get her. Y'all gotta excuse me. I keep scratching my eyebrow because I had the microbladed, so they're peeling their.
Oh, they're still got you. No, that's all good.
So I look like I got a Halloween costume on because they're extra dark right now.
Hey man, the spooky season. Do it all.
People think it's my costume. Like Yep, I just got to put on. They're itchy.
Now, here's a question: when you pick your horror movies and books, since Alicia likes to read, like, you have any type of censorship planned ahead of time? Like, I will not watch movies or like this. Like, you won't. Do
I
y'all
do
have a limit?
anything that's like anything that's like spiritually demonic. That's not like, for example, like there's scary movies that are demonic, but they a lot of the stuff is like made up. But then when you start getting into the stuff where they're like actually like conjuring demonic spirits, as some of the stuff that they're saying is like in Latin, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I understand Latin, and they're sitting up here, I'm like, whoa, that's getting a little too deep. Never mind, they're not just making up words and just saying anything like on some shows.
Yeah, and
I
I
don't
mean,
do spirits,
Yep.
period.
all
Any
right.
movie with spirits, I do not do, and I am so serious. Like, I just, I don't know, like, I think it's just a lot of where me growing up, like my mom being like real churchy lady, and she's always told us that spirits are real. Like,
Hmm.
and they are, you know, they can possess people. Like, and I'm like, oh no. And they're like, that's why, like, like my grandma, my mom always said, you got to be careful of the company you keep, the people that are around you, that their energy, that stuff wears off on people. Just like, you don't want certain spirits around you, certain people around you, because they hold certain types of spirits and stuff. So growing up like that and hearing things like that, I'm so over it. But I'm like, nope, not for me.
No, I'm the same way. I don't.
See, I can't. I don't want to watch at least like the ones like the you'll die in 7 days, like the dumb ones, like
Hmm.
watch this videotape and you'll die in 7 days,
Hmm.
or the phone calls and
Yeah.
like the Truth or Dare one. I probably won't watch that one
No,
Hmm.
but you
because, like,
gotta watch it.
all right, I'll watch it for you because
I no,
because
I
I
need somebody else to
Talk about it with.
yes, because I'm like, oh, like me and my husband, we were just sitting there watching, just another stupid Netflix. This was at the beginning of quarantine. So, like, he's already like a big movie show guru. So he's watched all types of movies, shows, stuff like that. So when we get free time, he always tries to like get me to watch some of the stuff that he's seen before or whatever. So I was sitting there,
got you.
oh,
I
well,
got
let's
a
just
good
watch.
recommendation that's actually pretty good.
He
That might
probably
freak you
seen it.
out a
What is
little
it?
bit. Lock and Key.
I seen it.
Oh,
Yep.
you okay? So the Voodoo one, I just watched that again.
Yep. With the
Or was
mirror,
or
that
was that
mirror room,
Skeleton Key?
that
Okay, all
mirror
right.
room had me
Yeah.
shook.
Yes. I was like, I seen he was because he's the one who found it on Netflix,
Hmm.
watching it. And he's like, yo, you gotta watch this movie. And I watched like the first couple episodes. I never finished it, but I watched the first couple episodes of it. And I was like, hmm,
It's
this is
decent.
different. I was like, I wasn't expecting this,
Hmm.
but yeah, it's different. I
Yeah.
can
I was
only,
like, oh, that mirror room scene.
yeah,
I was
that's
like, that
scary.
messed with me up here. It wasn't like right, like it was like it had me thinking like, what would I do in that situation? I'm
Well,
terrified.
yeah, because it's like when the little boy they like traded places.
Yeah,
I was like,
that stressed me out. That stressed
right.
me
I
all the
was
way
like,
out.
and he's
Y'all
just
funny. All right.
stuck, and I'm like, oh no, oh no. But like, what's crazy though is a lot of these movies. I don't know if you guys have ever like read some of the backstories and like heard like some of the what the producers. So a lot of these horror movies and like movies or shows like Lock and Key are actually like people's realities. So
Yeah, some of them are.
yeah, like so like though I don't know the name of that one movie. It was kind of like Lock and Key, but it was talking about this. It was based off this woman who was schizophrenic.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
he would talk about some of the things during her episode, like when she would come out of her episode, like things that she's seen, things that came about, like her in her subconscious mind, and
Mhm.
how like she felt trapped like that, like what like the mirror room was. It's kind of like you feel trapped and you kind of like watch yourself from
That's
your
deep.
subconscious mind. And I was like, that's why this stuff be real. Like I don't
Oh,
think
I
that
believe it.
making it up. Like
I believe it. I spent a whole week in a mental hospital last year, and my roommate has schizophrenia.
mhm,
And honey, the stuff
right,
that she
Yep.
was talking about, she
right.
would start having a normal conversation, and she go on from that to like bumblebees and butterflies, and I'm just like, I don't even. Yeah, okay. Then we just kept shaking our heads.
Because life
There
is
you go.
stranger than
Now you can
fiction.
make your
Yes,
movie.
it is.
There you go. That's how you make your movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right. So I'm about to throw kind of a political question in y'all direction. Um, in terms of, I mean, we're talking about the horror genre over the past, I guess, 40, 50 years. It seems like horror kind of appeals to like male readers and viewers, like, where, men like violence, women do not, or, the thing where it's like anti-feminist genre where women are often the victims. And, what do y'all think about that? Because, I mean, it's kind of like that, but I also feel like a lot of times there's like a single woman survivor for a lot of these horror movies too.
Well,
So
I mean, look at
what's y'all thought on it?
Halloween. Halloween, the main character is a woman, and she keeps
Yep.
surviving. You know, I I think, I guess with some of the movies, they horror, murder, sex. There's a lot of that, and like people want to see sex, people want to see murder, and that's kind of how it. I guess it formulates because it's everything that you can't live. You can't live in real life, so it's through the fantasy. So,
Yeah.
I feel like that's where that comes from. Um, I do notice, a lot of the female characters, just like black characters,
Yeah.
or black people get murdered first. White the women tend to fall so many times, like they're ditzy. Like, how many times
Women,
you gonna fall?
a damsel in distress.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm saying it's always like they're the victim, they're the one,
But I think now things are turning around, because you think about some of these situations, some of these men, like, let me go outside. No, in real life, they would be murdered because they want to go out there instead of analyze the whole situation.
Yeah, no, not doing that. But then like when Rob Digger survived 13 Ghosts, it was like, oh, they changed
No,
it. Can
don't
we?
bring up that movie. Don't bring up that movie.
Oh, did what?
Don't bring up that movie.
What's
That
wrong with 13 Ghosts? What happened in 13
that
Ghosts?
movie right there, I told y'all. That movie right there.
It has Monk in it and
Mhm.
Shaggy, and
That's
it's
That
not that
movie
bad.
right there.
And Rob Digger's in it.
I seen it one time and I got so scared. I never watched that movie again in my life.
really.
I think it's a
I
little bit
was
more fun
so
and
scared
whimsical.
of that
To
movie.
me, it was funny to me because it was,
Yeah.
but especially now with the graphics, it's terrible now. It looks,
Yeah.
I watched it when it first came out.
yeah.
Like, and I was young. Like I was what 16
Yeah. So
when
it
that came
probably
out.
did have you.
So I was like, I was shook.
I bet.
I was with it. I thought it was a little bit more funny. The kid was kind of funny, and like the colors were bright, like bright teal and orange, and it was like not what I was used to seeing. I was like,
Mhm.
all right, cool, and I'm like, hey, the black chick survived. Cause I was like, I saw her like, oh, she's dead. She didn't die.
Yep, you be thinking that in the beginning. Yep. Yeah. So a lot of these newer movies, the women are actually, you find out, but then there's always another twist where the woman ends up being like, the whole uh what is it called? The person that set up the whole situation in the end.
Yeah, yeah.
I
She's
can't
the
think of
one that. Yeah.
the
Now, what do y'all think?
mastermind.
Yeah, right. What do y'all think about the movies where no one survives? I mean, they're not that common, but they do exist.
They piss me off because you get all that energy. You didn't get, felt like you trying to figure out who gonna survive, and then everybody did. It pisses you off.
But I think that's American conditioning because
Mhm.
we're so used to like the hero surviving the last, But like a lot of other genres, like in Russia, a lot of times the tragedies, everybody's gone, and we're not used to that. We don't like that over here. We have to have someone like win and beat the villain, and
I don't
yeah,
know if that's just American cinema, because like in Europe, they have a
yeah,
lot of it too. Where, because I think that's just a normal psyche. We don't feel right unless someone survives, or if there was a whole purpose, if there's someone going through the pain and one person got out.
yeah. But
It's like
I
you went through
kind of,
all that and everybody died. Like,
yeah.
There's
But
a actually a movie on Hulu that's like that. It's I'm trying to think of it, but it's about these people that go to these with their roommates to Scandinavia for this
okay.
like winter summer solstice type thing, and like it's crazy. Nobody survives. It
See, and
just
I remember the people that were like unhappy. I forget the name of the movie because it flopped because no one survived. It was a pretty good scary movie. And
it's called Midsummer.
okay, you know
Good.
what? I saw the advertisement for that. I gotta check it out. Um, and the whole thing, you thought they were gonna survive, and the whole thing was that these spirits couldn't attack you unless all the light was out.
Hmm.
And this one chick got out of the house, but then she ended up driving through a tunnel, like one of those long tunnels in the country with no lights,
Hmm.
and they rolled
Yeah.
credits. Like that was it.
Yep.
And people in the audience went, "Man, fuck this movie." It was like
Yep.
mad.
Yep. I hate those. Makes you mad because then you feel, especially if you have OCD. Because if you have OCD, that's you need things to be resolved, or it's just gonna bother you. So
Well,
the
they were
whole.
absolute zero. Everybody died. No survivors.
Hmm.
To me, like if it makes sense for everybody to die, like I don't want to have a movie where the odds would normally be so insurmountable, but someone somehow gets out of it.
Oh,
But
well, that's more action, like Triple X. Like
yeah, no, I don't want that. I
everybody.
want if it makes sense for them to die, hey, that's something different. Kill them all. It just makes to me it's better writing because if you're talking about real life, I mean there are situations where zero people survive,
Hmm.
so you can definitely do that. All right, now what was I gonna say? Something else. So do you? Well, I guess we kind of talked about this before about if horror movies are more about the shock value or telling a good story because we really don't have a whole lot to tell great stories. But I think they go for the shock value than they do about the storytelling for most of them.
Hmm.
Unless it's like the thriller. The thrillers go for the story, and the horror movies go for the shock value. I
Hmm.
guess. I don't know. That's kind of all my questions for today. Y'all got something else on this one?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Alicia, final thoughts, people, about Halloween and horror
I
movies
just
and
can't wait to taste candy. I'm gonna be the taste tester. I don't care if I bought it. I don't care. I'm tasting it all. Make sure all the kids are safe.
make sure make sure all the kids are safe. She gonna be the owl in the Tootsie Pop commercial.
Mm-hmm.
Tootsie Pop gonna be
One, a
gone.
two, a three, a
Yeah.
three.
Give the kid back the stick like it's safe.
Mhm. And then now that
no, I mean, just horror movies are the worst.
Hey Alicia, so I know you missed it earlier though, but were you doing anything for this Halloween, especially with the COVID thing happening?
So instead of taking my daughter trick or treating, we are having a Halloween party for the kids.
Awesome. I'm doing the same thing, like sort of helping out one.
Yeah, it's just like I just think that it is better that way, and like we can control a lot more
Mhm.
when it comes to like the candy and everything. And like, there's just a whole bunch of kids in my family. Like I got a whole bunch of like little nieces and nephew or little cousins. Like there's a whole bunch of us. So I think it's perfect for them.
Good. Good. So what you dressing up as?
Me and my husband are going as the king and queen.
Just like traditional king and queen, like crown and meat.
Yeah, but it's the Royal Stonehenge king and queen. I'm reading the package.
Okay.
It's like the medieval.
Yeah, like the classic traditional king and queen looking thing. All right, cool.
All right.
Hey, that works.
I'm gonna be my $4.99, 488 a cat. I usually just go through in my closet and see what I have that's anything like cat text, leopard or something, or then I wear it. Yeah, last year I was a cat. I was the only one dressed up for work last year.
All right. Well, this year, I mean, I know I'm working from home. Y'all both working from home or not?
Yeah, Friday we're all dressing up on our Zoom call, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
No,
finally.
Alicia, I don't typically work holidays, so I always take most holidays off. So like right now, I'm only serving because Alicia got to finish school. So as soon as I'm
Gotcha.
working at I serve at Zone 28, but I am not going into work this weekend because I am going to have the party.
All right, that'll be fun. You ready? Y'all excited? I'm excited. Y'all excited? I guess.
Mm-hmm.
As excited as you can be.
Yep.
Mm.
All right.
Even though I'm not going to do much this year, it's going to pretty much be drinking with my friends and watching movies. This year it's going to be pretty chill.
Right.
Yeah. Normally I'm out DJing Halloween party or something, but can't. That's not what's happening.
Mm-hmm. See, and where I live, the adults go trick or treat, and they have they usually pass out. The neighbors usually pass out beer or mixed drinks, jello shots.
Man, where you live at? That's awesome.
And crafting.
Y'all ain't never do that. I know.
Yeah.
No.
Like,
See, and so we're lucky because we get 2 Halloweens because Crafton and Ingram. So but this year they're both going to be on the same day, but usually Ingram's is the Saturday before Halloween.
Okay.
And Crafton's actually always on Halloween. But the way Ingram works is between 12 to 3 and on during the day. So we take the little ones between 12 and 3 and walk them around during the day on Saturday. All our neighbors sit outside with candy. People be outside playing games and stuff with the neighbors, and they pass out candy. Crafton, that's between 6 and 9 o'clock. Same thing, but it's like, everybody's outside that night. So all the kids come out. We take the older ones to trick or treat that time.
Yeah, I was about to say, I can't imagine going trick or treating at noon.
And it's still fun because the neighbors, they be out drinking and stuff, passing out stuff, giving out stuff for the adults. So the adults usually get hot dogs and beer in Ingram. And then in Crafton, it's like mixed drinks. This one family owns their own brewing company, so they pass out beer.
That's what's up.
Whole cups of beer.
That's good marketing right there. It's just smart.
And my neighborhood, they did jello shots. Like the kids got the candy and the parents had their own bowl.
I know that's right.
With their jello shots. I was cracking up.
I know that's right. You're like trick or treat.
Right. Yes. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. My neighborhood, is not big on trick or treating, so I would have to travel.
Well, travel then.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Yeah.
Always got stuff going on, and it's usually, now this year, I don't know, but
everything's canceled. But normally, right? Got you.
And I usually leave my candy with my neighbors because I'm usually running out. So with the kids, I'll get a big bucket of candy and have my neighbor. She sits out with a couple of the neighbors' candy while the kids pass out. And I go walk around with the kids and collect my drinks.
I know that's right.
So it's like a beer crawl.
That's awesome, though. All right, cool. All right, so as long as y'all stay safe. Any final thoughts before we close it out?
No,
Bye.
I'm excited. Good
No.
night. I guess I'm gonna go eat because my food is sitting there. I want to tear it
All
up.
right, yeah, go do that. You go do that. We're done. I guess we'll see how everything went next week. I'll talk to y'all later. This is State Perspective. Make sure y'all go ahead, share, like, tell your friends. Be safe. Halloween. We got Danny Reed here, Alicia, Paige, and then Sherelle Unique. She had to cut out a little early because she got some things going on as a performer and thing. So, all right, y'all. Until next week. Talk to y'all later.
I see ya.
Bye.